I am Samik Sundar Das, Senior Rural Development Specialist at the World Bank in New Delhi, India. Under the World Bank supported Tamil Nadu Rural Empowerment and Poverty Reduction Project, more than 1 million women have been organized into 100,000 self-help groups and brought under an institutional platform for capitalization through Livelihood Investment Fund and credit linkage through the commercial banks. From a capitalization, around $1 billion have been mobilized to these groups. To optimize the livelihood asset created, this capitalization across agriculture, livestock and non-farm sector, the project has identified the household with the same livelihood assets and have organized them into common livelihood groups or producer groups. Thus far, the project has formed around 6,000 CLGs, out of which nearly 50% are in the dairy sector. 90,000 high-yielding variety dairy animals have been inducted. The milk yield is around 350,000 liters per day and benefiting around 50,000 poor and livelihood asset-deprived households in the state of Tamil Nadu, India. Therefore, it is important to understand that 350,000 liters of milk produced is sold through a strategy that is linked to the government-promoted Dairy Cooperative Federation by private sector, small-scale dairy product-based enterprise and small-scale processing for value addition. This is all done through the community-managed process. What is important to note here is that most of the producers are very poor and first-time owners of dairy animals, and they have bought these cows and buffaloes by taking a loan. Therefore, proper care management of these animals to maintain optimal product is very primary. To start, the project tied up with the National Dairy Development Board and local service providers were developed through the cadre of community professionals so that producers have the basic technical know-how of animal management and care. Also, because of the community professional or the paraprofessional, basic healthcare services were available on call. The project promoted fodder cultivation with households having access to land in the same catchment where the dairy activities were primary. This to some extent became a win-win formulation as fodder was available readily and also there was a market for fodder cultivators. This to intervention to a great extent took care of productivity and maintained optimal milk yield. Second, unless the produced milk was sold with and the value really got transferred to the primary producer, there is no point in all this investment, because when a value chain analysis was done by the project, it was realized the producer is selling the milk through the local milk collector at 10 cents, whereas the actual price at which the consumer buys around 50 cents. Therefore, the challenge was how to transfer maximum value to the producer. Hence, the project initiated with the government promoted Milk Federation, which pays a minimum price of 25 cents per liter to connect this producer to the cooperative. And investments for infrastructure came from the development component of the project and financing from other government programs. Milk collection centers were established and milk routes were established on where the milk collection center was done, and the government promoted Milk Federation started collecting the milk. This basic linkage helped the small milk producers to jump from 10 cents per liter to 30 cents per liter. As this was across many locations and the government Milk Federation did not have penetration to all parts, the private sector got attracted and with the private sector players started talking to the milk producers groups. Then the milk producer, because they were organized, they were in better bargaining position and they could negotiate the price with the private sector. And because of this, the price that the producer got was 20 to 30 cents above the price that was offered by the local collector. The producer gained around 60 to 70% of the value after adjusting all costs. Therefore, when you organize the small producers and support them to adequate technical assistance, they can grow, be part of a new value chain or established value chain. The value really gets transferred to the producer. One more thing that's coming is to break up the value chains into different interventions and understand which aspect of the value chains will transfer maximum value to the producer. Once that analysis is done, so where is the trigger to transfer that value becomes easy. Second thing, when we are providing a loan to create an asset, it is very important to provide a package of livelihood services so that that asset which is created through a loan becomes a financially viable asset. So, when you organize them into producer groups, into farmer collectives, then you provide them with capacity, you provide them with a lot of inputs, how to deal with the market. That helps them basically to negotiate with the market, and they can get the value that somebody else is taking away to their own families basically. So, this helps in income increase and this leads to other various impacts at the household level. When you're financing an asset through a loan, it's very important that the package of livelihood services is assisted with the loan to make the asset financially viable and to ensure that the income flows to the household so that it can impact the household in a broader sense. Thank you.